Hello everybody, this is Secondhand Dan coming to you from Florida land. What I'm going to do today is show you my most recent auction purchase. It's not the only thing I purchased at the auction, but I think it's going to make for an interesting video. So let's go get a close-up on it. There she is. Isn't she a pretty thing? Well, as far as pieces of cast iron machinery go, I think it's pretty. It's a Craftsman joiner planer. I believe it's like from 1959, which makes it pretty much the same age as me. Big, heavy piece of iron there. Took 3 guys to put it on the back of my truck at the end of the auction, but there again by myself when I got it home. I had to be clever to get it off. It was upside down on the truck, so the legs were sticking up in the air. The fence was off of it at that time. So I slid it slowly off the end of the truck and landed the one end of the table on a concrete block. So then I was able to make it stand up right at that point. And then from there, I used a dolly to get it inside the fence line here. Well, what makes this thing so special is the fact that it's one of those items back in the day that was practically over-engineered. They didn't take any shortcuts in their design or the amount of material needed to make such things. I mean, it's not quite commercial, although it would survive in a small commercial shop. Here is the thickness gauge. And how you get your thickness is by raising and lowering this table compared to that table. And to do that, you just fiddle with this knob. Rightsy tightsy or rightsy risey. The table goes up and the cut will get smaller. I know it could be considered not the most safe thing with that exposed pulley and belt, but they were pretty reckless back in the day. Belt guard could be made for that. But the shame about it all is I'm not going to be able to keep it. I'm sure I would get some use out of it off and on over the years, but it's here with me down in Florida, and I don't have room to hang on to it. And because you can see my workshop in the back is only like a 14 by 24, so there's barely enough room for a couple of workbenches, a couple of toolboxes. So I won't be keeping it. What's a nice feature about this that isn't part of the planer literally is the motor. That is a serious motor on there. It even set up for dual voltage, low volt or high volt, so 110 or 220. Right now I have it plugged in 110. Cord is a reasonable thickness. That's important, but somebody put a smaller gauge in. It's all I have right now, and I'm not, like I say, going to run it full time. It's just for testing and demonstration purposes. Otherwise, I would get a beefier cord. The table, you know, somebody did a half-decent job on the table, the legs. I would have a tendency to maybe put a couple of pieces of plywood in to act as a stiffener, but it's working good. And by that, let me show you. Flip the old toggle switch here. Booyah! All things considered, it kind of runs quiet. (1959) Craftsman jointer. Let me shut it down. Now, some people call these jointer planers. Some people just call them jointers. I'm sure a couple of people, not knowing any better, would call them a planer. But it's not really a planer. Any planing applications would mean that said piece of wood, you'd have to cut into the surface of it. This is made for doing the edges of any particular piece of wood. So a planer would go like, you feed it through this way. And actually our true planer, a power planer, would have rollers, and you would feed this in, something like a pizza oven, and it would pull it in and run it through. That's what a true planer does. But this is a jointer. Its job, its specialty, is to decrease or square up the edges of your wood. So let's give you an actual demonstration of what it does. Okay, fire in the hole. Let's do a half step so you can show you how much depth, how much meat it's really taken out. You got to be careful with these things, working around them. I know there's an individual on YouTube actually got his fingers sucked down in there and now is missing them. So that broke my heart to see that, because I think he had videos going before that and videos after that, but the guy's got a great attitude. Love him for that. I'd tell you who he is, but I forget. I haven't seen one of his videos in a couple weeks, so I forget. He actually does job site construction. Now, one of the other features on this machine is, you think, well, I don't need a perpendicular edge. I need a 45. Well, we can do that. Now, to get any other angles other than a true 90, there is a scale on the back side here. 90, 75, 60, 45. See right here, there's a pin coming through. That's for your quick 90. If we loosen this handle up, see what I mean about the quick 90, how it just lands right there. But if you need something other than a 90, for being on a 110 circuit and having all that extension cord, this thing is a beast. Look at all the filings, it's shavings. Effortless. That's impressive. You go, Craftsman. I miss the old Sears tool department. You need to pull this pin right here. Spring loaded. Pull it, and then the fence will lay down. But it's not pinned in any other location. So at that point, you got to tighten the clamp, the bolt here, and then you're ready for angles. So I am very pleased with this machine. I would keep it if I was in Pittsburgh, but I'm not going to drag it 1,000 miles home. I'll just keep my eyes open for another good auction buy like this one was. So Give me a like, a thumbs up. Even go so far as to subscribe if you dare. All right, well, thanks for watching my video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.